Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we have yet another insane Dragon 25 composition that features none other than Jingwon, and it's a speed farming composition that is very consistent, and it does include 3 champions that are practically gearless, dare I say. So before I get into the run, I do want to give another huge shout out to you once again, Infinite, for coming up with another strategy composition to do speed runs, and this speed run is very consistent, guys. So talking about Jingwon, so one thing that Infinite did mention is he was hoping that Jingwon would get a lot more love from people because he feels like Jingwon's not getting enough love. And besides Infinite, there's only one other person that I know that wants Jingwon to get a lot more love, and that's shout out to you, YST, because I know YST likes Jingwon a lot as well. But yeah, so this composition is really interesting because Jingwon brings something to the table that is so unique, and basically on a 2-turn cooldown, he can extend the debuffs. So here on the A2, attacks when enemy has a 75% chance, 100% chance, and 2-turn cooldown when it's fully booked of increasing the duration of all debuffs on the target by 1 turn. Also places a block active skills debuff for 3 turns if the target is under decreased accuracy or decreased crit damage debuff. So this second part is irrelevant here. It's the first portion that's super important. So 100% chance of landing this with the right amount of accuracy on a 2-turn cooldown. So basically, this is going to be not a seer composition, it's going to be a poison explode composition, and it's going to feature basically 3 champions that are nearly gearless, I would say. So we have a Jingwon, we have a Xayah, 2 Cavalex, and a Prince Kaimar in this composition. So I feel like there's a lot of interchangeable champions in here that could happen, especially if you want to go for a much faster run but less, I guess, less consistent team. So maybe if you're chasing the world record, then you would definitely use an Eleanor because her animation is lightning quick. But Xayah, she's going to be doing a lot of damage to make sure that the waves are always down, because Eleanor might not do that. But starting with the Jingwon here, we do have him in a immortal set, and basically I didn't really put any weapon on him because it wasn't needed. All I was trying to go for was enough defense, I guess, to make sure he can stay alive, but it's not really much of a problem. I could probably take a shield up actually. But as far as the HP, I wanted to make sure he's nice and healthy, so I have him above 111,000, and Infinite actually had him at around 102,000, but I kind of went overboard. So we have him at 141 speed. So the speed here is a bit flexible. You don't have to have it exactly at this speed, so you could have a little bit above this, but you want to make sure that you're not going faster than the other champion. So this composition is very tuned in a sense. So we have 141 speed for the Jingwon. We have enough accuracy to make sure he can land the debuffs, but with any champion in the game, there's always a 3% chance of a debuff not landing unless the champion says this debuff cannot be resisted. So 3% chance of it not landing as far as the A2. So if it were not to land on the dragon fight, then we'd probably be in trouble. So I would say there's not a 100% win rate team. If it misses, then there's a, it's probably gonna fail. So I would say there's like a 97% win rate team. So that's pretty much it when it comes to the stats here. And as far as the skills, so you do want this booked. This is super important because on a 2-turn cooldown, you're going to be going fast enough to increase the cooldown or increase the duration of all the debuffs on the dragon twice. So you want to make sure this is booked out. So, and I got super lucky. I only used 4 books and I landed all on the A2, which was huge. And for the masteries here, I did have him masteried out, but you probably don't have to get the mastery done here unless you want to go for a little bit more damage on the Word Master proc, and also a little bit more accuracy here, and nothing else here is really needed. I guess I could go with this, to be honest. Then I can just actually, yeah, I could probably just go with this too. That'll help out for sure. So we'll click that, and that's pretty much it for the Jingwon. So let's go over to the Cavalex. So the Cavalexes are basically naked, right? They have no gear on them basically. Only the reason why I have gear on them is because I wanted the accuracy to make sure we can land the debuffs, the poisons that he puts out every turn or every round. So that's pretty much it on him. Yeah. So 226 accuracy. Ideally you want to go for 235. That would be like the most efficient accuracy to make sure you can land all your debuffs. And the most important thing here is you want to make sure he's at 99 speed because you don't want to take the turn before the dragon. You want the dragon to go before the Cavalexes take their turn for their A1, A2, or A3. The passive is always going to go off in the beginning, And basically, Dragon's gonna go and the Cavalixes are gonna die, and then the run's gonna be much faster. So all I really did was put accuracy chest on him, and for the other one, all I did was put a accuracy banner, and that's it. And you don't need them masteried at all. So I do have this one masteried. You don't need a mastery, you really don't. So yeah, once again here. So unless you wanted more accuracy here, that's pretty much it. You're not really gonna be attacking at all. All you're doing is just placing your poisons with your passive ability. So for the Kaimar, all we did was make sure his speed was at 181-ish, around there. And basically he's just going to be skipping his first turn, refreshing for the Zavia on the wave 2, and then for the wave 3, that's pretty much it. And then he pretty much just dies to the dragon as well. So that's all he's really there for. The accuracy here is not needed. It's just the speed, and that's pretty much it. And for the skills, you don't need him skilled here. You don't need the masteries here. His job is just to do the refresh, and that's pretty much it there. And then he just, yeah, that's it. And then for the, and I don't think this is needed at all either. Yeah, so I'm actually gonna just take that off right now. Okay. So if you guys notice here, the reason why we have these guys basically gearless, we want them to die, because once they die to the dragon, it's gonna be a head-to-head fight with the Jingwon and the dragon going back and forth. And that's what makes it run really quickly, because then there's less animation for other champions to take their turn. That means there's more seconds taken off the clock, right? And over to the last champion here. So this champion is definitely geared because we want to make sure we're doing a decent amount of damage so we can down the wave 1 and wave 2. And basically, yeah, 153 speed. We are crit capped, 269% crit damage, 5800 attack, and a decent amount of accuracy. And all she's doing is just nuking down the wave 1 with the poison explosion, nuking down the wave 2 with the poison explosion, and then on the wave 3, we're actually going to be turning off the poison explosion, and we just want her to put out poisons, and that's it. So that's really her job here. And for the skills, I do have it all booked. And for the masteries, we have War Master. So that's pretty much it there. So over to the run now. And for the presets here, I do want to talk about the, I guess like the consistency of the team. This team is super consistent. The best time I have is 27 seconds from my testing so far. And the worst time I've had was like about 34 seconds. So that's like the in-between it'll be. But the only reason why it's going to be slower than the 27 seconds is only if the Zavia doesn't land poisons on the dragon. Because the Cavalixes are going to be putting out the poisons as well. But if the Zavia misses, if we don't get that full stack on the dragon basically, then the dragon's not going to nuke down right away. So it's going to take one extra turn for the Jingwon to go back and forth with the dragon, or a couple actually. And that's what makes the run a little bit slower. So if we land all the poisons, then it's going to be a flat 27 second team. So over to the presets now. We have... Alright, so for the first one, we have Zavia. On the round 1, we have the A3. That's the poison explosion here. And the damage. So we have that as a priority. For the round 2, once again, Prince Kaimar is going to be resetting before Zavia. And then she's going to be nuking with this again. And then over to the round 3, this is against the dragon. We're turning off the poison explosion. And then we're going to be focusing on poisons and more poisons. So we're going to prioritize the A2, and that's pretty much it. And over to the Jingwon. So for the Jingwon, we're going to have the A2 turned off completely on the round 1 and round 2. And then for the round 3, we're going to make A2 the priority ability. And this is going to be the increased duration of all debuffs by 1 turn. So this is super important. And over to the Cavalixes here, basically just nothing. Yeah, they're just all default. Once again, their job is just to put out the passive poisons, and that's pretty much it. So over to the Prince Kaimar now. So for the round 1, we're going to have the A1 as the opener. And then for the round 2, we're going to be resetting, and that's going to be the opener. And then for the round 3, we're going to turn off the reset, and we're going to prioritize or actually open with the A2. And that's pretty much the run. So now let's get over to the run, and hopefully we can get 27 seconds on our first try. So it's anywhere between 27 seconds to 34 seconds. So we want to make sure we land all the poisons on the dragon though. So the first 2 waves are always super clean. Super clean, like 9 to 11 seconds. And by the time we get to the boss, yeah. Okay, so we landed 1 poison. We can land 1 more. Okay, we landed them all. Perfect. So this should be 27 seconds. Yeah, there we go. Nice. On the first try, 27 seconds. So one thing I did forget to mention is, for Zavia, as far as her stats goes, let me just go over to this real quick. Ideally, for Zavia, you would like to have her maybe like 32,000 or less, maybe 33,000 at the most, as far as HP. So the lower HP you have on her, the faster she dies to the dragon on that first hit. You notice how she was still alive after that first hit, but then she took a turn for a second, or for split second, and that, you know, she was still alive, and then she died to the poison. So ideally, I would like her with less HP, but to hit this gear that I have, or hit the stats that I have here, it was really hard for me to not have HP, right? Because I basically had no HP on her at all, except for maybe the ring or something. But it's really, really difficult to do, so that's something to keep in mind. So let's run it back one again. Maybe on this one we can get a bad run now, so I can show you what I mean. So clean. So clean. Alright. Okay, we landed both poisons. One more. Okay, so this might be a slower... Yeah, it's going to be a slower run. So we didn't land all the poisons here. It's definitely going to be a slow run. And also, Cavalix didn't die there for some reason. I think it was a weak hit or something, yeah. Okay, so that's like... That would be like a bad run, basically. So let's run it back one more time. But as you can see, it's a super, super consistent run. Again, the only fail that would happen is if Jingwon's increased duration doesn't go off. So that would be like a 3% chance of not landing. Okay, so this should be like 27 seconds again because we landed everything. Yeah, you see, so she took an extra turn because she has a little bit too much HP, and that's what I was talking about earlier. So this is gonna be a 29-second run. Yeah. So there you go. So that's pretty much it, guys. This was a really, really fun composition. Like one of the most fun compositions that I made in a long time, that I got the luxury of experimenting, I mean. And yeah, thank you to Infinite once again for giving me this composition to show to all of you guys. And yeah, so really, really fun. I hope you guys are able to make this composition at some point, because it's really, really, really satisfying. Versus like the Seer composition that I've been doing for so long. It's just different, you know? Jingwon is a beast. So there you go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the showcase of Jingwon and the Poison Explosion composition. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed my content, please make sure to subscribe. Hit that like button, and I'll see you all in the next video.